I got two for you if I could. First one, Jan Jensen had a post this weekend about your first visit out there. Can you just take into what you remember from that experience of first time out there?
Oh gosh, I think it might have been in 8th grade, or maybe I was a freshman in high school. I think I was a freshman in high school, and I went with my dad and maybe my older brother, and we went to a football game, and it was when Iowa beat Ohio State on like the last second field goal, or Michigan. I can't remember, one of the two. Michigan was ranked very high. That's why we got Ryan. People stormed the field. I did not participate in the field storming, but a very vivid memory. That's like that was my first ever college visit. So a lot of fun. So it's that feels like yesterday. So it's cool to kind of look back on that and reflect on everything that's happened since then. So I saw that post. That's really cute.
And just a little bit more modern question. Just out of yesterday, there's obviously the physicality, the foul gets upgraded on the other side. Christie was in here a couple minutes ago. She was talking about the fact that you responded to it like you've experienced this for many years, which I would imagine you have. I'm wondering, do you remember like an early time in your basketball playing where a team took a more physical approach with you and sort of how you learned to deal with it?
Honestly, like it makes me think back to college when like my first couple of years in college, I was still pretty frail. Like I still am pretty frail, but I feel like I added quite a bit of muscle over my college career. And like that was probably, the tactic early on in my college career too, is just be really physical with her because, she's not probably as strong as everybody else and usually a little bit faster, and the speed is usually what I try to use. So I think it kind of reminds me of my early college career, and, my strength will evolve over the course of, having an off season and having time to do those things, to focus on those things. So, it definitely reminds me of my college career a little bit, but also, I grew up playing the basketball with the boys. So like, it's always been physical and feisty, and like, that's what it is. And you got to find a way to hold your own. So it kind of reminds me of that. And then I grew up with two brothers, and, things were about, very, very physical, a lot of blood, a lot of tears, whatever it was. So I'm definitely prepared for it.
Go, Jackie. You want to go second row behind you?
Hi, Keegan. When we spoke to Kristen 2 weeks ago, she was asked about how she values the mental health and mental wellness of her players. And she told us about this moment where she was coaching at Northwestern years ago, and it was really profound. She realized how important it is. I'm just curious how you've seen that care from Christie, especially when there's a lot of attention on you and this team.
Yeah, I think Christie's been amazing. I think she definitely, she really cares about the culture of this organization. And I think that it starts with having the right people in the locker room and making sure that they feel like they're valued here. And I feel like you can really feel that. That's like one of the first things I felt when, I met with her and I talked with her. And I arrived on my first day, like she wants everybody to feel valued here. And I think it's very similar to my college career. I think those are the best leaders, that no matter what your role is on a team, in a business, a part of an organization, that you feel valued, whether if you're the team manager or the star player. I think that's what makes a successful group. That's what brought us a lot of success at Iowa. And I think Christie is all about that same stuff. She values every single person that works for the Fever organization, that works for Pacer Sport and Entertainment. It takes everybody. It takes people believing in you, but also there's so much more to life than basketball. And I think she really gets that. I think she understands, like, especially for myself, like I'm 22 years old. I got a lot of pressure on myself to perform and help this organization and help women's basketball and women's sports. So I think she's been a great outlet for myself, and just, letting me know that she's there and she's here for me, in whatever way that can be. And that's something I really appreciate.
Good, Doug. Gonna get two in the second row behind you.
Hey, Caitlin, two-part question. The last time I heard you say you're excited to actually move into an apartment. How is that? And the second part is the Commissioner's Cup. What do you know about it coming in this year? And now that you're part of it, you guys want to know how big is it to sort of win this in-season tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I know what I know about it. Well, it feels great to be living in not a hotel, so thanks for asking. Haven't been able to use the pool yet too much because the schedule's been crazy, so I'm looking forward to that maybe over the next couple days. But honestly, Commissioner's Cup, I know you're playing for some money. The ball is a different color. It's about all I know. It's in the month of June. But I don't really care. Like, I value every basketball game the exact same way as if it was a practice. Like, that's how I view basketball. That's how much I love this game. That's the way I want to work every single day. I don't want to just show up when it really matters. You got to show up in all the other moments. So to me, it's great. It's fun. I think it's something that's great in season and to have that competitive spirit about, but also like at the same time, like nothing should change for a team.
Go second row.
Caitlin, your love for the game is very obvious, and you know it's a grind. I asked your coach about it, the quick turnaround, and I asked her, did you have to sell, you know, with the Commissioner's Cup, and she kind of laughed and said there were dollar signs on the blackboard when you guys came back into the locker room. My question is, your love for the game is evident, and you know you're smiling. It seems like you're having a good time, even though it's a grind and everything that's going on with the physicality. My question is, are you having fun?
Absolutely. I've been having a lot of fun. Like this is my childhood dream. So if I'm not having fun doing this, then there's probably a bigger issue. But also like I always remind myself, sure, there's moments where I've been frustrated and, you know, upset of, you know, we've lost here, I haven't performed here, or things that I want to clean up. But, you know, there are so many people that would love to be in my position or would love to have this opportunity. Like I get to do this as my job. Like how lucky am I? So, you know, sometimes that's hard to remind yourself of and, you know, put everything into perspective, but you know, that's what I try to do. And I think at the same time that like kind of takes the pressure off and really allows me to have fun and just keep playing the game I love. So thanks for the question.
Stay in the second row here. Kelsey.
Right, a moment ago, Christie was mentioning that the spacing of the offense is a lot more improved compared to what it was 2 weeks ago.
For sure.
Just as someone who's on the court and really conducting the offense, how have you sort of seen the spacing improve, and what do you think you guys need to do next to sort of get that other gear on offense?
Yeah, I think it's definitely improved. And I think, to be honest, like I wasn't necessarily like, I don't know, like it's hard when you don't practice a ton. So like I obviously didn't know the spacing completely exactly what we wanted to be. I'm not used to just going and standing in the corner a ton. I'm used to having the ball in my hands and operating like that, or operating a little bit higher on the wing, just because that's what my habit was for 4 years of my life. So I think it's just like breaking some habits that I've just been used to, but also I think everybody on this team just like having our posts lower in the dunker spot so people have room to drive and operate. It's just like little things. Like we would just be a little bit out of position that wouldn't allow our teammate to be completely successful. So I think those things have definitely improved. I think it's helped our offense improve overall. I think our transition has gotten better. But yeah, I think our spacing is definitely improved, but I think there's still a lot of ways we can definitely grow in it too.
Kelsey in the third.
Defense has obviously been the focus over the last few games for this team, and now facing the Liberty for the third time this season. Just what stands out to you defensively and what you guys have to do tonight?
Transition defense. I think that's where it starts. They're really, really good in transition. Sabrina's a great passer in transition. Same with Sloot. Stewie runs the floor just as good as anybody in the league. And then, you know, we got to defend the 3-point line. Last time we were here, we did a terrible job of that. It was basically impossible to win the game with the way they shot the ball, and a lot of them were uncontested. So I think that, like, we're going to need to scramble on defense. You're not always going to be matched up to the person that you maybe are supposed to be matched up to, but that's okay as long as you're guarding somebody. But I think for us, it definitely starts in transition defense, and the better we can execute on the offensive end, that's going to, you know, limit their chances in transition. So
Stay in the third row, and then we'll finish up with Matt here in the back on the right.
All right, Caitlin. Obviously, always the transition going from the college game to the pro game. You happen to have someone on your team in Aaliyah who has not only gone through that as a #1 pick and dealt with the pressure, but also spent a good portion of her college and pro career to this date, albeit a different position, dealing with the physicality of the game. Just wondering if she has shared any advice with you or talked to you at all just about making this transition.
I mean, I think more than anything, she's just been like supportive and there to like talk me through certain situations, especially when she can tell I get a little bit frustrated on the floor at times. I think she's one of the first people that comes up to me and tries to calm me down, or, you know, I was like, look here, or try this, or this is what's going to help you be successful. So I think Aaliyah's been really good in that regard. And like, you know, that's a hard position to be in. Like she's only in her second year too, but she's also trying to help me at the same time while she's still learning. So I really appreciate it. And I think she's been an amazing voice in our locker room.
Finish up with Matt in the back on the right.
Hi, Caitlin. Is there more of a backstory to Christie saying that she walked in and saw the dollar signs on the whiteboard?
I think she put those up there.
There wasn't a player backstory.
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, blame it on Christy. I think it was her. So I don't know. I'm just kidding, but it wasn't me. I'm only going to speak for myself. So
24 hours been like, and how significant you think this What's the wind in your sails?
Yeah, that was for our players. I'm just so happy that they were able to get that one last night. 11 games in 20 days is tough. We didn't have much time to think about it. We had to leave and go right to the airport to get on the flight to come here. So next one up, that's what we were looking at. But probably the minute the game ended, I told them to enjoy it for a few hours.
Doug?
Coach, you put it out on social media, you didn't think it was right that the calls were going your way, it's unacceptable, and the league upgraded to flagrant one today. Are you at least happy with that outcome, that the league listened maybe to you or saw the foul and upgraded to what they thought was more severe than it was called in the game?
Yeah, this is this league is awesome. It's a physical league. We get after it. But that was a non-basketball play. And that needed to be called in that moment. I mean, we got out with a 1-point win yesterday, and that could have changed the game a little bit. So they just in that moment need to make that call.
Yeah, just when it comes to that foul on Caitlin, or if a foul were to happen on any of your players, just how would you expect the teammates to react on the floor? Because obviously it's a fine line between kind of standing up and then maybe possibly getting a technical foul.
Yeah, well, I think you saw it in the Seattle game. Victoria Vivians and Caitlin got tied up a little bit, and you see our team go help, right? Like, that's who they are. I mean, they are connected. I think the play that happened last night happened as everybody was running down the floor. I didn't even see it until after the press conference last night because, we were looking this way and it happened down there. So I think it just was a situation where no one really saw it happen in that moment.
Go in front here, then we'll go to Jackie in the back.
Hey, Coach, Fifi from just that play last game, all eyes have been on the Freedom coming into season. Is there a conversation you had with Caitlin or the players, knowing that maybe some players may try to take a shot here and there just to prove a point?
Yeah, I just think, this is a league where, wow, it's really getting it. Yeah, that's tough.
Can you shut the door back there? Thank you. It's beautiful.
She is powering through the door. That's incredible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. No. This is we kind of went through this last year with AB. New rookies, #1 picks. Players are, they want to show that they're vets in this league, and they want to make it hard on these rookies. That's just like how it goes. And we sent video in last year. We were, making our complaints to try to figure out to help AB, and then same this year with Caitlin. I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing. I think, I coached Sylvia Faust. I don't think people know how to officiate bigger players. I felt like it was the same thing with, Aaliyah last year a little bit. But, we're going to continue to fight to try to get the calls. I mean, they see one thing and we see another.
Jackie.
Hey, Kristen, I'm just curious, what are some indicators of how this team has gotten better since you were last here around 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I'll start on the defensive end because that's where we needed to really focus. We've been giving up way too many points. Last night we gave up, in the 70s. They were averaging 80 points a game. So that was a huge plus for our team. Offensively, watching our games prior with New York, our spacing was not near as good as it is now. And those were earlier games. These guys are trying to figure it out with no practice, and so I think for me, just the individual defensive stops by our players, trying to keep the ball in the middle of the paint, being in good help side starts there, and then our spacing on offense.
Go second row on the left, then we'll come to Howard.
It's a grind right now. I know that with the quick turnaround and everything. I listened to your press conference yesterday, and you can't wait to get back and get some rest and get some practicing. My question is, with the Commissioner's Cup, a little bit of extra incentive there, have you sold it to the team? We're 1-0 in the Commissioner's Cup. We got to get through this thing, and we can pull a win out of here. We're leading in the Commissioner's Cup. It's extra money for us, and then we got all that time to rest and practice. And maybe we can turn this season around.
Yeah, I don't really need to motivate them. There was dollar signs on the whiteboard when I walked in last night. So I don't think I need to remind them that there's money on the line for these games. But these guys deserve some, not just physical rest, but mental rest. I mean, you know, what they've gone through is something that's only happened one other time in this league. Whole new, you know, a young team already, add the new players. It's just been tough. It's just been tough on all of them. You know, I'm just happy that, you know, we got 40 minutes tonight. You know, I need them to not give me what's left, but give me all they got. And then also, you know, then get home and give them a rest.
Go Howard in the front, then Matt.
Christie, just in terms of the physicality on Caitlin, you know, you obviously talked about the things you can do, the ways in which you can kind of stand up for her. What are you seeing from her reaction? It's obviously not new as somebody who's been, you know, treated that way as person one on the scouting report for a very long time. It's a common tactic with a player who's tops on the scouting report. Just wondering if you see, does she seem experienced in the way she's handling it? In what ways is she handling it?
Well, I think to answer that question, she showed it last night when she just got up and we just kept playing. I mean, all she did was ask the officials to review it. And, you know, she said they didn't really want to listen to it, but I really applaud her for how she handled it last night.
Yeah, Christie, last time you guys were traveling, it was after that West Coast road trip. You guys were playing a lot of games, so you could pick up your first win, but you know, it was a losing trip, and now you guys are flying out here after a pretty big win. What was the difference, kind of the sentiment of the plane ride over here? What was going on? What was it like?
I think they were all sleeping the whole time. I don't even think I heard them even talking that much. I think, you know, there was a lot to be talked about, but they were just gassed. I mean, they were just, you know, they were just tired. But, you know, wins give you wind. They give you, you know, they give you an extra, you know, let's go. We can get through this one, you know, and it's what we keep saying. Give us 40 good minutes, and you're going to get a good rest.
Anybody else? Yep, last one here in second row.
Hi, Christie. Brian Anderson from the Philly. It looks as if you guys are having Aaliyah more in the short role as being an operator with the control. How have you sort of seen her chemistry improve with the guards from when you first when you guys were first here, and how do you see her continuing to evolve her game?
Yeah, I think Aaliyah was able to get some confidence on our road trip. Towards the end of that road trip, you know, up until that point, she's played against Jacquel Jones. She's played against, you know, some of the best posts in the league. And so she just wasn't able to kind of get that groove. And then, you know, we've kind of made some adjustments and put her more in some pick and rolls and the way they're guarding Caitlin in those pick and rolls with the Reds. I mean, she's able to get her hands on the ball early and then we really trust and believe the decision that she's going to make out of those is positive for us, whether that's a spray out for a three or attack or even a high low down to Liz or Timmy. And so, you know, when we've had time to just kind of walk through those things, but I think just, you know, she beats herself up, you know, like I was really proud of her last night. You know, she had that huge and one. I mean, that was a huge turning point for us. And that was a huge moment. And I went up to her after the game, after we had finished with the team. And, you know, instead of being really happy about that, she's frustrated about the shot she missed, you know, and that's just who she is. I mean, so, yeah, just her getting confidence and getting that good feel has really helped her.